by the trees is an odd figure. The voice behind the camera, a woman, presumably their mother. They're running, they're laughing, they're having fun.
What's a cryptid? A cryptid is like a word for animals that are fictional, basically. Bigfoot is a cryptid. The Loch Ness Monster is a cryptid. It's like these animals that people think are secretly out there, but, you know. The Chupacabra is a cryptid. Mothman is a cryptid.
Things take a strange and unexpected turn. Suddenly, standing there by the trees is an odd figure. The camera quality isn't the best, but from what we can ascertain...
If you're interested, here's the correct penguin vid. Okay. We can check that out after this. Nice. And then Mothman is real. No, Mothman is not real. Daddy Sume, cryptozoological is a term defining fake creatures of folklore. Yeah.
It seems to be a woman wearing a flowing white robe. She has long black hair that, and we don't want to sound judgmental here, looks kind of unwashed.
I have no idea
just saying
what this is,
camera operator
but I don't think it's a cryptid.
Letting out a short and prompt shriek before adjusting her camera to focus on the woman instead of the children. The figure just stands there, ominously looming. But as the camera lingers, something deeply unsettling becomes clear. Look closely.
Wow. I don't know what language this thinks it is, but it thinks it's Russian. So then when you try and do English auto-translate, it's trying to translate English into English, but it thinks the English is Russian. So the subtitles end up looking very, very strange.
Figure isn't standing there. It's hovering. She seems to have no legs at all. It's merely the top half of her body, casually floating.
Worth noting that cryptids have one up on the ghosts, seeing as giant squid was considered a cryptid till they found them alive. It's cool, but it does make some cryptid fans get a bit too smug. True. I feel like giant pandas at one point were like that too. Giant pandas discovery. Yeah. Like giant pandas were only discovered in... Oh boy. Giant panda, known as the panda bear. Hold on. Or maybe it was just in the West that they thought it wasn't a real thing. I don't remember, but I thought there was something about giant pandas. China, to mark the 140th anniversary of giant panda discovery. China is to retrace the steps of the French missionary who made giant pandas known to the West. Okay, so that's what it is. The West just didn't know they were real animals. That makes more sense. So that's a different situation from giant squids.
Around. It remains unvicious. It remains...
That's pretty racist that, like, white people were like, giant pandas, that sounds fake, even though I'm sure... Chinese people at the time were like, hey, no, it's like real. We've seen them.
Unantagonistic. It simply hovers, watching. One of the boys runs up toward it, possibly to try and touch it, but the woman loudly makes a comment and the boy sheepishly stops. It's not clear what she said, but presumably she asked him to step away. He makes a couple more attempts to step near, but each time the mother snaps at him, clearly nervous about what this ghostly apparition could be. She continues to film. The creature continues to just hover. The pair of them caught up in a curious and creepy standoff. What do you think this thing is? Where did it come from?
No idea.
And why does it simply hover there like that, refusing to get too involved? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Now it's time for the rare topic. We first found this footage showcased on another channel similar to ours and simply had to bring it to your attention. It's so strange, almost Lynchian, that we can't wrap our heads around what's going on. The footage, filmed in Karnataka, a village in southwest India, seems to show an odd masked creature that's either small or squatting, being generally aggressive.
It's a person in a Halloween mask that's on their knees. What are you talking about?
Irritable. Naysayers have called it out as nothing but a child in a mask and a wig, but others genuinely think this is some kind of alien or cryptid.
What?
This theory is that at the same time as the footage was filmed,
that's weak even by cryptid standards.
Mysteriously fallen ill, leading many to believe this creature was harming them. What do you think? As always, comment down below with the hashtag #RealTopic, and we might pin the comment that best explains what's being shown in this footage. With that said,
The first
let's
one
keep
looked like
things
a
moving.
Halloween prop.
Number
yeah.
10. The Emerson Creature. We may have discussed this one before. To be honest, we make so many of these videos, I'm kind of
What is that even supposed to be? Look at that. It's a complete mess. You can't see anything.
losing track of what we have and haven't talked about. But for those of you who haven't heard of this next cryptid sighting before, we simply have to mention it again. And for those of you who religiously watch all our videos, apologies if this is a repeat, but even so, we think it's definitely worth a second look. This is the story of the legendary Emerson Creature. In 1957, residents of Emerson reported strange sightings and sounds coming from the nearby forest. Something sinister and creepy was about to go down. I'm sure you can tell where this is going. A group of youngsters headed into the forest, camcorder in hand, to try and grab evidence of whatever strange creature it was that was spooking everyone. Clearly, they'd never watched a horror movie. Clearly, they had no idea what was obviously going to happen. Rather predictably, they never returned. No, seriously. Like something out of a Stephen King novel, these poor teens charged into a forest to go monster hunting, never to surface again. Presumably, they were gobbled up by whatever it was that was lurking among the trees. But who knows for sure? It's a mystery that still lingers all these decades later. If their story has an important message, it's this. If you think a monster might exist, never try
That's
and
the
meet the
plot of
monster.
the Blair Witch,
Run.
yeah.
Run as fast as you can. But while the kids were never seen again, their camcorder was. Apparently, the monster was only interested in eating human flesh and not the $50,000 recording equipment. The footage is obviously grainy and hard to follow. Given the technology of the time, HD this is not. But it appears to show some kind of spectral creature stalking the trees, slinking back and forth. Upon noticing he's being filmed, the monster seems to grow less passive. Lunging at them, he gives chase, and they and the monster were never seen again. These few seconds of footage are all we have, yet these few seconds are all that was needed to...
What were kids doing with $50,000 worth of video equipment? No kidding. And this is supposed to be the 50s? Did they even have portable cameras that, like, took video this clear in the 50s?
The Emerson Creature.
That were portable, I mean something that you could easily carry into the woods. I'm not talking about big studio cameras. I'm talking about, like, you know, something you could carry.
Into an all-time legend in cryptozoology circles. With decades of hindsight, some monster hunters are now saying they think the Emerson Creature may have been a shadow person. But the debate still rages on. What do you think? Number 9. Creature on the Roof. Now, this footage was taken in a Mexican town in 2015. After hearing strange noises coming from outside, the resident decides to take their camera to investigate. What they see lurking on the roof is truly terrifying. Let's take a look, and hopefully you guys can help us figure out what's going on in this peculiar clip. The footage is so shaky and grainy it's near impossible to get a good idea of what it might be. We may be wrong in our guess that it's a cryptid of some kind. Some people have guessed alien, some have guessed demon. A few have even said it might be the Slender Man, but
The Slender Man isn't... I hate that, because we know how the Slender Man came to be. That was like a 4chan story that they collectively got together and made up. We know the origin of Slender Man. It was never considered a real thing. It was like a thing where they collectively were like, let's come up with urban legends, and they made the Slender Man up. You can probably go find screenshots of the thread where Slender Man got invented. My God, people are stupid. It's a balloon?
personally, we think that guess might be a little bit off.
I don't
The
know.
creature seems to be naked, and we're pretty...
Obviously, it's not like a cryptid. Cryptids, I don't think exist. At least none of the ones that, like... The only cryptid that I think could potentially be real is Bigfoot. And I don't think Bigfoot's real. But, like, if in the next... If at any point in my lifetime they're like, by the way, Bigfoot's real. Here, we have a live Bigfoot. It would be surprising, because I don't think Bigfoot is real, but it wouldn't, like, alter my view of reality fundamentally, right? Like, it would just be like, oh, look, there's still a living hominid species other than humans. That'd be amazing, but I wouldn't it wouldn't fundamentally change anything about the way I think of the world, whereas a lot of the other cryptids are like really, really outlandish and out there, whereas Bigfoot's just like, hey, it's like a hominid. It's another great ape.
Pretty sure the slender
Maybe it's a siren head. I don't even know what that is.
man is always seen looking about as dapper as one can look. And there are also people who theorize that it's nothing but special effects, but those people are super boring, so screw them. While humanoid in shape, it looks
It's CG. Come on, when it moves, it's obvious that that's like someone made that.
a little bit too different to just be cast off as a human. Notably, the legs, neck, and head stand out. The head's far too small for the body, while the neck is too long and bendy. And the legs also seem far too long given the size of the torso. You could almost describe it as a naked man as seen through distorted vision. Also, of note, and this may just be because of the ropey quality of the footage, so please do take this with a grain of salt, but the creature seems to have no facial features at all, nothing. Clearly it can see, it looks right at the camera and gazes, almost as if it's just as intrigued by the human filming it as the human filming it is curious of it. Yet it has no facial features at all. Strange and creepy. What do you think it is? And should the people of Mexico
Bad
be scared of it?
CGI.
Let us know what you think. Number 8. The devil himself, or at least his feet. Sometimes seeing a monster or cryptid
What? Devil feet?
isn't the scariest thing. Sometimes seeing evidence that a monster has been, yet not seeing the monster itself, is even creepier. Early on February the 8th, 1855, a strange sight awaited the residents of Devon, a county in England. Marring a fresh blanket of snow that had fallen during the night was a trail of unusual footprints. The trail stretched for more than 100 miles across fields, over walls, and on top of roofs, and they even crossed the River Exe. The prints themselves looked to have been made by a bipedal creature with cloven hooves. The tracks almost seemed to have been burned through the snow. Each print was deep, almost
Burned?
reaching
It just looks
the
like
frozen ground below.
footprints. What are you talking
Now, many
about?
people were understandably frightened by the appearance of the mysterious footprints. In some cases, the tracks led right up to the entrance of their homes, causing many individuals to cower indoors, fearing that the devil had made his way to Devon in search of sinners. The footprints have never been explained, but numerous theories have been put forth in the search for a reasonable explanation. Some of the more popular
I'll
theories
turn off
include
these
the possibility
subtitles.
of a
They are
kangaroo
complete
having
gibberish.
escaped from a private zoo, hopping wood mice, rain falling and then freezing in unusual shapes, a wandering badger, and a stray weather balloon dragging an anchor or instrument. All of these explanations fell short of a concrete answer to the appearance of the mysterious footprints. The distance the tracks traveled would have been very long for any of the animals mentioned, and the freezing rain theory doesn't explain why the tracks were so uniform and clean. As for the weather balloon theory, there were no reports of any balloons having been lost, and the probability of
It's
a
a
balloon
satyr.
dragging an impact
Honestly, I think it's probably just whoever found these tracks put on some like cloven hoof shaped like shoes that they made or something and made these tracks. Because think about this. Who walking around notices footprints like that and goes, this looks bipedal, but it looks like they have cloven hooves. Like, that's not a thing someone would notice and take note of. So I think it's just whoever found these did this as a hoax. Wouldn't be the first time someone did something like that.
implement without snagging on a tree or chimney is very slim. Number 7. The Direwolf. After the dragons and Kit Harington's acting, the scariest thing about Game of Thrones was the Direwolves. I mean, sure.
Hello, Baja. Thanks for your continued sub. 5-month streak. Wow, I've been doing this regularly for almost half a year.
They're friendly and loyal and everything, but that's because the Starks knew them. That's because the Starks raised them. An actual direwolf, a feral one, is a terrifying prospect. Coming face to face with one in reality,
I like the idea of a direwolf as a cryptid because it's the laziest cryptid. It's literally, guys, what if a wolf, but bigger?
would be horrifying, and if this story is anything to go by, somebody just might have. In late 2015, a hunter in northern Saskatchewan, Canada, captured an encounter with an animal so gigantic it left zoologists baffled. Could it be an actual dire wolf? A lot of people seem to sincerely think so. Now, the short
Dire
clip
moose.
captured on the phone shows a white dog named Trigger barking at something lurking in the grass. You can see a black head peek over the ridge. It's clear from the head alone that it's no ordinary dog. It's clear from the head
I can't see anything.
alone that this is no ordinary.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's so fake. Did you see how that thing moved?
It's clear
Look
from
at
the head
that.
alone that it's no ordinary dog. It's clear from the head alone that this is no ordinary wolf. It's
Look at that. It's so bad. Who buys this BS?
clear from the head alone that this is something else entirely. Something far more monstrous and dangerous. Something absolutely colossal.
That's viral marketing from Twilight. Is it really? Because that wouldn't surprise me, but it's funny.
Luckily, we don't just have the head to work with, because suddenly, without warning, this huge creature lunges at the poor white dog, which retreats with a yelp. The black, wolf-like creature is enormous. Just look at this gigantic thing. It looks to be more than twice the size of the white dog. The sheer size of the dog has led to people believing that this may be actual footage of a
Battle
genuine
Bear
dire
8.
wolf
Thank you for
living in the
following.
modern world. Terrifying stuff. A dire wolf fits in an interesting subset of cryptid because it's a cryptid that we know for sure did exist. But much like dinosaur sand dodos and the Konami, dire wolves are thought to have gone extinct thousands of years ago. The mysterious thing about these big dogs is that they were thought to have gone extinct in the early Holocene period, more than 9,000 years ago. So how's one still alive?
How big were direwolves? Direwolves. Real. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Direwolf. Size comparison to human. Oh, it's barely bigger. I mean, I don't mean to, like, I guess I thought it was supposed to be bigger. I mean, it's bigger than a regular wolf, I guess, but not by enough that I'm, like, amazed. I guess I thought it would be bigger than that. I don't know. Like, they're still big, but I don't know. Does anyone else get, like, where did that one go? Mad furry vibes from how these wolves have been drawn. I don't know why. They just definitely look like they were drawn by a furry artist.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
What's going on?
We are currently living in the Holocene. I don't know what that is. Hannah, stop kink shaming. Hey, I'm not kink shaming. I'm just pointing it
There's
out.
nothing
On
funny
here.
about the tools of capitalism.
Were we wrong, and do lots of them still exist? Or is this just one lone survivor? Give us your thoughts in the comments section below. Number 6. Number 1. Huge toes. We'd be remiss if we didn't end on the most iconic monster footage of them all. Known as the Patterson-Gimlin film, it may not be the longest video in this list at only 59 seconds, but it is the most famous. Shot in 1967, this footage shows the ape-like monster we now call Bigfoot, striding through the forest like he's on his way home from a shop.
I'm pretty sure the guy who did the special effects on Planet of the Apes took credit for this later. He basically said, like, yeah, we did this. It was on purpose. It was fun. They made, like, a Bigfoot suit and did this. Anyway. Feet, huh? Oh, that'll never not be funny to me. It's a reference to our D&D campaign from actual Jake's channel.
Trip. Though the legitimacy of the footage has been hotly debated for decades, the filmers, Patterson and Gimlin, insisted until their deaths that it was real. If real or not, there's no...
I mean, if I made the most successful fake cryptid video of all time, I'd probably still claim it was real until my death, too.
denying that it's the most
I miss you too, Baha.
important footage of a
I'm glad I get to see you, like, Friday, hopefully.
mysterious monster ever to exist, and arguably began the trend for monster hunting. Every other video on this list exists because the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot footage began a worldwide fascination with proving the existence of mysterious monsters.
Weirdly, I agree in the sense that it's like the father of all fake cryptid videos, yeah.
Which of these clips and or photographs do
Does
you think is
Bigfoot
the
have a
most
wiki
genuine?
feet
And
page?
of all the cryptids said to exist,
Don't you have to be real to have a wiki feet page?
5.
the Fresno.
I guess I don't know if that's the case. There's probably fictional characters with wiki pages. I don't know. I'm not gonna look.
Alien. One of the most notorious California cryptids is the Nightcrawler. And no, not...
But Bigfoot is real. Bigfoot is not real. The Mannequin. Are you streaming tomorrow? Yeah, probably. I have D&D later in the day, but I'll stream before.
The teleporting blue German from X-Men. The Nightcrawler is another name for the Californian cryptid, better known as the Fresno Alien. This short, 4-foot-tall, armless creature has been infrequently spotted across California.
No wiki feet page for Bigfoot.
And
That's
no,
a shame.
I didn't say harmless with a cute accent. I said armless. This strange little thing seems to have no arms, or at least according to those who have seen it. And there are many, many people who claim to have seen it. Based on what they've seen, many say it
like, just in terms of evolution, the idea of something evolving to be bipedal but not have anything resembling arms makes, like, no sense. It just seems odd. Like, what happens if it falls over or something? How does it get back up? You know what I mean?
looks like it's wearing a robe or something similar. The possibility of clothing has led to a debate. Some people think it's a
Among
cryptid
Us.
of Earth
I actually
origin,
haven't played
and
Among
those
Us
people
yet.
call it the Nightcrawler. Others think it's a sentient being, one with fashion sense it seems, and those people think this means it must be extraterrestrial in nature. So those people call it the Fresno Alien. For the rest of this video, we are personally going to call it the Fresno Alien, but you can call it the Nightcrawler. Call it whatever you want. Captain Abraham Biggles, why not? There have been many reported sightings of Captain Abraham Biggles, but frustratingly few of them have been committed to film. That all changed with this clip. The owner of a home in California was woken up when he heard the frantic barking of his dogs. He claims his dogs are normally pretty well behaved, so to hear them losing their minds like this was very out of the ordinary. He stepped out to investigate and was confused to see nothing at all. But come this morning, he couldn't get over how strange it was for his dogs to go ballistic like that. Curious, he decided to review his security footage. In doing so, he discovered this incredible clip. He was amazed to see a creature befitting descriptions of the actual Fresno Alien just casually wandering along. Incredible.
Cotton Candy 903, ooh, the finest. His videos are actually interesting, and I don't think he's actually taking these cryptid videos seriously. His non-cryptid ones are actually pretty decent. Okay.
Right? What do you guys think? Is Captain Abraham Biggles real? And is this footage of him? Let us know in the comments below.
I don't know. I assume, like a lot of these, the Fresno Nightcrawler video, this video is probably intentionally faked, but it's like a good fake. If you're gonna do like a fake cryptid video, which is like the only kind of cryptid video you can have because they're not real 99% of the time, it's good. It's subtle. Like, you can see a form, but it's not too in your face about it. They kind of explain away the lack of detail because it's nighttime and it's in night vision mode. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Number 4, the Skidwalker. Before we move on, who's in the mood for a lesson from cryptozoology school? Are you familiar with the term skinwalker? If not, don't worry, we've got you covered. Skinwalkers are believed to be witches or shamans that practice dark magic. It's said that they possess the ability to disguise themselves as animals. The use of the word skin in their name is derived from their own ability to change their skin. These witches are thought to be super evil, often indulging in terrifying, sinister ceremonies in an attempt to control malevolent powers. Creepy stuff.
You remember this chick track.
Has twisted the idea of the skinwalker into an over-the-top horror cliche. Indigenous tribes, specifically the Navajo people, have remained tight-lipped about this mysterious entity, implying there may be a reality to the concept.
Oh yeah, the Crazy Wolf track.
And worryingly,
that was pretty racist.
From California may support that theory. That's right. This rather disturbing photo was uploaded to good old Reddit back in 2018, and many people think it shows evidence of a
There's a whole subreddit for skinwalkers?
Genuine skinwalker. According to the original poster, the photo was originally taken by their friend's ex. According to them, the ex and his father decided to trespass onto royal property. Apparently, a drug-related shootout had gone down some weeks earlier.
Weren't all of them dealing with other races really racist? Yeah, pretty much.
The pair were intrigued to poke their noses into the property and investigate. they got far more than they bargained for. Before long, they were approached by a man wielding a shotgun. The guy warned them that they shouldn't be on this part of the property, and he fired off an intimidating warning shot. But according to them, there was something off about the man. It didn't seem like he was just an angry dude who didn't want anybody on his land. It seems like he was genuinely terrified himself. But of what? The ex-husband and the father ran as fast as they could down a dusty driveway. They used the flash on their camera to light up their way. As they ran, several photos were accidentally taken.
Accidentally.
These images would remain unchecked for some time. Finally, several weeks later, when they regaled friends and family of their rather bizarre and terrifying encounter, they decided to check if the camera had taken any pictures as they ran. While most of the photos were innocuous, one of the photos captured something incredibly noteworthy and eerie. One of the photos revealed that it was not the man with the shotgun they should have been scared of at all. Take a look for yourselves. As you can see, clear as a crystal that's been treated with industrial strength acne cream, you can see a humanish figure. It has a thick torso and is brown and bulky. It has a hunched stance. It almost looks like it's lumbering its way down the road.
Wow, you are really like putting your like pattern recognition thing on high in order to see that out of that amorphous blob.
From the fact I wasted a bunch of time up top describing skinwalkers, lots of people think that this right here may be a photo of a genuine skin.
Yeah, Baja says, why would you think to yourself, I wonder if I accidentally took pictures? Yeah, that's not a thing people think.
Skinwalker. Rather intriguingly, some Redditors analyzed the image and came to a scary...
And like the flash is clearly on in the picture. So they would have noticed if they took a picture because the flash would have gone off.
conclusion. There was no evidence of Photoshop fiddling. Curious, right? Considering the backstory of the shotgun-wielding guard, several commenters thought the figure could be someone wearing a ghillie suit, an outfit used by hunters to blend in with their surroundings. But others think the fear of the shotgun wielder is evidence to suggest that he himself was trying to kill the mysterious and terrifying Skinwalker.
I mean, the ghillie suit theory would kind of make sense considering the color of the thing is very, very similar to the grass that's all around it, but I don't know.
Curious, to say the least. It's very curious, to say the most. What do you guys think? Why not take a few moments to write your theories down below? We'd love to read them. Number 3. Cadbusaurus. We all know the Loch Ness Monster. I mean, not personally, we're not friends with him or anything, but we've all heard of the Loch Ness Monster. But did you know he has an American cousin who lives in, mostly, California? When it comes to water-dwelling cryptids, the Cadbusaurus is something of a legend. It's thought to live in the waters of the Pacific Northwest and has been spotted as far south as San Francisco. There have been many sightings of the beast. So many, in fact, the cryptozoologists decided to compile data from a wide range of apparent sightings. In doing so, they came to the conclusion that the Cadbusaurus may be anywhere between 5 and 15 meters long. This footage you're looking at right now is some of the clearest footage of the Cadbusaurus ever caught on tape. It is noticeably shaky and far from ideal.
No kidding.
But it definitely shows something. Look,
that's the standard. Look, there's something on this video. It must be a dinosaur.
Look at that long serpentine body snaking its way through the waters. Intriguing, right? This sea serpent has been dubbed Caddy, and while footage and photography of it may be rare, it is commonly spotted by eyes.
Thanks for
But
coming to the
are
stream.
those eyes attached to liars? The Cadbusaurus seems to mainly surface in the colder months, which is added to the theory that it is in some way related to Nessie, as Scotland is also rather chilly. But what do you think? Is the Cadbusaurus genuinely chilling out in the waters of California, or is it all just a big bunch of nothing? Let us know. Number 2. Cactus Cat. One of the most infamous California cryptids is the legendary Cactus Cat. The Cactus Cat is a legendary, fearsome critter of the American Southwest. The Cactus Cat was generally described as being a bobcat-like creature covered in hair-like thorns with particularly long spines extending from the legs and its armored branching tail. The creature was said to use its spine.
74 Quinn 74 says, You believe in dinosaurs?
Finds to slash cacti at night, allowing juice to run from the plants. On later nights, the creature was said to return to drink the now fermented juice. The then drunken creature was said to shriek throughout the night. The cactus cat was a very hostile creature towards any animal invading their territory. Animals that crossed them often
There's
ended
nothing
up with
funny about
large
the tools
punctures,
Dinosaurs, the
and
first
sometimes fatal
cryptids.
injuries. It was a desert predator. To avoid the harsh heat, they'd carve out the inside of a cactus and sleep through the day. It eats the bugs and juice of the cactus, keeping it hydrated. They were said to be immune to scorpion venom and would hunt them at night. Cactus cats were social animals, often mating for life. They were said to live about 20 to 30 years. Before and during mating season, the male felines would break open a large saguaro cactus and let the smell attract females to the location. Often enough, 2 females would be attracted to the scent.
How can anyone claim to know the mating habits of an imaginary animal that no one has seen?
And fight. The fight usually ended in one of them getting brutally spiked or stabbed to death. The winning female would then meet with the male and drink the cactus juice. The pair would get drunk and then produce a litter of kittens within the next few weeks. The kittens were born blind at birth with no spikes.
It's a fast gestation period.
As shocking as it may seem, we've stumbled upon 30 seconds of genuine cactus cat footage. Take a look and see what you think. Given how terrifying this is, I'm not gonna talk over it. Just watch.
Alright, that's cute. That's funny.
Oh, Leo. Man.
Okay, fine. That was just a normal cat hanging out with a cactus. My bad. We know this clip won't satisfy you cryptid hungry bunch, so have this quick clip of
Lupine's
Bigfoot to
doing
make up
well.
for it. Yeah, look, it's Bigfoot, baby, in California. Creepy stuff, potentially. Bigfoot should need no introduction. But the question is this the real him? The footage from the woods of Southern California shows 2 dudes just messing.
Oh my god, that was the fakest Bigfoot. Did you see it?
It's the real
Did you
him.
see
The
it?
footage from the woods of Southern California shows 2 dudes.
That's so bad. That's terrible.
It's just messing around while a third guy films them. But the attention of the guy at the camera is grabbed by a lumbering, scary beast behind them. What do you think? Is this the real Bigfoot? Number 1. The Dark Watchers of California. The Dark Watchers of California are one of the most intriguing myths circling the place. Of all the cryptids in this list, they're certainly the one that's grabbed our attention the most. These things are truly deeply fascinating. The Dark Watchers, also known by early Spanish settlers as Los Vigilantes Oscuros, is a name given to a group of entities in California folklore purportedly seen observing travelers along the Santa Lucia Mountains. The Dark Watchers are described as tall, sometimes giant-sized, featureless, dark silhouettes, often adorned with brimmed hats or walking sticks. They are most often reported to be seen in the hours around twilight and dawn. They are said to motionlessly watch travelers from the horizon along the Santa Lucia mountain range. According to legend, no one has seen one up close, and if someone were to approach them, they disappear. We found the photo we're showing you now on Reddit and have to wonder, is this a real snapshot of the Dark Watchers? If it is, it's truly haunting. There's every chance this image was simply created by some talented little Photoshop boffin, but if not, it's...
I don't even think you need to be that talented in Photoshop to do this. It looks like they just copy-pasted the same silhouette 3 times.
terrifying. What do you think? Are the Dark Watchers among us, and is this a photo of them?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
At twilight, when stuff is dark and people can see people from far away as silhouettes, yeah. Okay. I think that's probably it for the day. Let me see if there's... Do I want to raid anyone?